exactly exist. It's your boy, the OGGM. And we're doing the thing again. We're walking to the magic place that gives you things in exchange for money, which means I'm dragging you with me, and we're going to talk about the latest controversy bombarding the tabletop role-playing game community. Brand new year, 2026. Faces have changed, paradigms have changed, governments have changed. Surely we will have a brand new selection of controversies, a brand new collection of things to talk about this year. Or certainly we're not just going to talk about the same thing we've talked about last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. Right? No, we're going to have all new things, right? We're going to have all new things, new fresh ideas, right? I mean, that was my hope. But nope, we're starting off the new year bright and early with one of our favorites, artificial intelligence. 10101010, right? So this came out of the gate like literally New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. There are already posts about the evil of Skynet taking over our jobs. It took our jobs. And all of us pitiful humans slowly being replaced by artificial intelligence. And of course, that directly is to art and writing, right? And the funny thing is, one of the many funny things is one of the individuals who I saw making a video about this and how much, the evils of artificial intelligence, was doing this while they were using a computer-assisted drafting tablet to draw, to prove that they drew things live and didn't use computers, and then having that computer-assisted drawing tablet correct their art and their spelling and touch it up and make it presentable. But that's bad, right? Because aren't you actually using the artificially enhanced mechanical things to make your art better, different, presentable, and your spelling? Perhaps the problem is just the word artificial intelligence. Because let's face it, there is nothing intelligent or artificial about these art programs. Just look at any of the pictures I have done. How many fingers does Tag have usually? 7. 4. One picture she doesn't have an arm. And those are the ones I put up. You haven't seen the ones with like body parts coming out of her chest and stuff, because no, there's nothing artificial or intelligent about it. But because we have been culturally, pop culture programmed to associate computers, artificial intelligence with evil, because HAL 9000 and Skynet. So if we see artificial art, we initially just go, oh God, blah, 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 blah. Pitchfork torches, blah, 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 call the Avengers, the world is coming to an end. AI art, or computer-assisted art, is a tool. We have been using computer-assisted artificial intelligence for years. Literally, the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing at this very second is because of Skynet. Okay? The computer is artificially broadcasting to the sky and then sending the message to you. The fact that I, as a disabled person with devastatingly awful dyslexia and high-functioning autism, can produce anything is because of computer-assisted artificial intelligence. Spell checking, grammar checking, all the things that I have used, talk to text, typing programs, Grammarly, Word, every program that has been used, that has been made available. Ooh, look at this, comics. Comments, thank you. Crap Phone says, the magic lasso is artificial intelligence. It uses a software algorithm to decide where boundaries are. Is that bad? Exactly. There's nothing bad about AI art. And if the complaint is, well, it's taking work away from real artists, many of those real artists who are using AI to, touch up their stuff and, use the digital tablets If you're using anything that's connected to the computer in any way, shape, or form to help to make or produce your art, yeah. So unless you're drawing it on paper, the computer is helping. It's everywhere. Okay, the Skynet is everywhere. The algorithm is everywhere. It's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's TiVo, it's Netflix, it's search engines. We are constantly using the tool every day, whether we realize it or not. Those guys probably have artificial computer thingies that are helping them drive their trucks and determine which trees are programmed to be taken. I mean, as long as the 101010 has been out there, we have been using it as a tool to make life easier. And I assure you, as somebody who does use artificial intelligent art or computer assisted art and does use spell checkers to fix my spelling and my productions and stuff like that, and having been accused of using AI to write my book, which I would say, did you actually read the book? Because there's no way AI would have made that many mistakes. It's a tool. It makes life easier. It makes life better. And it's a struggle to throw the prompts at the program to get the image right. So maybe it's not as much work as my sister who paints, but it's work. Even the ones that I fire off quickly are like at least 2 to 10 minutes of me throwing prompts at the various programs to try and get it to look vaguely like what I have in my mind. And even then, I occasionally miss the fact that the character has 6 fingers. So it's a tool, right? And to paraphrase Blade Runner, as long as that tool does what it's supposed to do, I don't care. The problem is not that we're using computer assisted whatever, because we are, and we have been, and we will be. And the problem is not it's going to take over our jobs, because sooner or later something else is going to come along to replace it. All right? Something else always comes along to replace it, right? And if you work in the entertainment division, like I have for a huge portion of my life, you know that whatever porn decides to use next will be the technology that takes off. What killed Betamax? VHS? Porn. Right? What killed VHS and Laserdisc? Right? Porn. What's killing all the videos stores that sell adult? OnlyFans. What's going to kill OnlyFans? The very next thing. So sooner or later, something's going to come along that replaces AI or whatever it is, computer-assisted art. Programs like Mid-Journey or whatever will be replaced. Something else will come along. Something else always comes along. Our problem is, as we discussed last year in regards to a certain individual, see Daniel at Drivings and Dragons for more on this subject, is not admitting, is lying about the AI. And controversially, proving you didn't use AI when you're accused of using it. And being able to tell the difference between AI and hand-drawn and stuff like that. So yes, there is some validity to the argument of people saying, well, I have to show you I did my art to prove it's not AI, right? But really the problem is not telling. Hello. In 100 years, somebody will discover a human can do better art than AI is doing, and people will complain that AI programmers are being put out of work by human artists. Oh no, that porn star ruined my OnlyFans AI account. Go Project Melody. So yeah, what is it? Yeah, like Daniel and Drivings and Dragons discussed, the problem is lying, saying you're not using it when you obviously is, and it's getting harder because, there's AI art I've seen and there's human drawn art that I've seen is like where I question, especially if I do the things every Monday and Friday, where I look at the art and I go, wait, is that AI or is that real? And sometimes it's very easy to tell and sometimes not so much. There's usually giveaways if you look, you can find the mistakes, because AI makes mistakes. It's getting better at covering them up, but AI makes mistakes. It just can't. It can't reproduce what the human eye sees. No matter how good it gets, it's going to make mistakes. Whether it be something obvious like an extra leg, or something very, very, very small, like, you know, something being upside down that shouldn't be upside down, because it just doesn't understand. It cannot make that last bit of leap of creativity that the human brain can. So it will never completely replace us. But between Wizards of the Coast and several other companies down to certain individuals, it's lying. It's saying, I didn't use it when you did. Nobody cares if you admit you did it. Sure, you might get a few tub thumpers who go, how dare you? How come you couldn't do me? Well, I couldn't use you because you charge $100 a page and I have no money. So as long as you're admitting, yes, I used stock art. Yes, I used AI art. This is the site I used it for. I paid for it. You know, I think it's fine. And I think the goal for everybody is, at least for most of us small independent people, is I hope my product makes enough money that I can actually pay you to do the art, as opposed to having to use the AI. Because let's face it, the AI makes mistakes. And now I've got this picture with our pink-haired mascot missing an arm. So as long as you're honest that you're using the AI, and your goal is, I would hope, eventually to reach the point where you can afford to pay somebody $100 per picture, right? As for why the big bad of the gaming industry, Wizards of the Coast, uses AI, refused to admit they were using AI, got called out using AI, said it was a one-time thing and they were never going to do it again, proceeded to do it again, got called out, said they were never going to do it again, proceeded to do it again, until they finally said, fine, we're using AI, suck it. If the goal is to eventually reach the point where you can afford independent artists, well, Wizards, you can afford independent artists. You don't need AI art. You have an art team. So what's your excuse of keep using it? Well, in the case of big business, it's the exact opposite. I use AI because I can't draw. And sometimes I can't find a public domain picture that fits what I want to do, like tag. So I have to use AI. But my goal is that eventually, hopefully, I make enough money that I can pay somebody to do the art, to get it like I see in my brain. Oh, it's the Bumble. Because, you know, like we said, Wizards, on the other hand, is doing the exact opposite. They're using AI to save money. They're using AI because they're lazy. They're using AI because why pay 20 people to work for 8 hours to do art for the next book when I can pay 2 guys to throw some prompts at a program for a few times until they get something that closely resembles what I want the cover to look like. And if there's a mistake, oh well, you already paid for it. Right? That's that unfortunate bind that we're in. Corporations are going to use these tools to make their lives easier, make their lives cheaper at the loss of people who are actually better at the job. While small people like me use it to make my life easier in the hopes that someday I have enough money to pay people who are better talented to do the job. But as long as you are honest, guys, that you used AI, and don't shit on us people who can't afford real art, so we have to use AI, you know? I don't have $1 million Kickstarter, so you telling people, oh, you're blah, 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 because you use AI. Well, yeah, dude, you want to give me some of that money you made so I can pay an artist? Now, of course, in closing, there is a middle ground solution that hardly ever gets mentioned, and that's stock art, public domain art. There is a ton of stuff out there, morning dog, that you could use, no matter what genre. Some of the stock art is free to use. Most of the museums have public domain art you can download. So if you want a painting of a, Rubenesque whatever, the Library of Congress, the Smithsonian, most of the photography sites, Google, Adobe, Wiki, there are tons of stock art things that are either totally free or you have to pay like 10 cents. There's tons of stock artists like Rob Necronomicon on DriveThru who make their art available. So if you need whatever it is, that guy's probably got an entire page of mummies and spacemen and whatever. Shout out to our good friend Rob Necronomicon. So the stock art's out there, and you don't ever hear anybody talk about it. It's either normal art or AI. So I really think our goal for 2026 is to support the small stock art companies, support the Rob Necronomicons and the Scott Isaacs and the Jacob Bradfords who do these pages and pages of these sort of generic fill-in characters that can be applied to anything because they're out there and they're free or they're reasonably priced. All the museums have them. The Library of Congress has them. Google has them. You don't need to pay somebody for a picture of an elephant. There's pictures of elephants on the National Geographic website. Anyways, that's all I've got to say on that topic. Again, if you're using AI art, just be honest and let people know, hey, I'm using it. I would love to pay you to do it, but right now I can't. So stop giving me shit unless you're going to give me some of your money. Because I'm tired of feeling guilty because I use AI art. I can't draw. I can barely write. These computer things are a godsend to people like me. So anyways, yep, that's it. I'm sure as the year progresses, we will have more of the exact same arguments. But it is my dream, my humble request that in 2026, we find new things to be upset about. Rather than rehashing the tired, old, everyday, we've done this 10,000 times arguments of racism, sexism, orcs are blah, combat wheelchairs, blah, 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 blah. Fudging the dice, blah, blah, blah. What's rule 0? What's session 0? Blah, blah, blah. How about something new? Stretch my imagination. Give me a new problem to complain about. Until then, I am your second favorite Scrooge, welcoming you to a brand new year. If you appreciate my content, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about this topic ever again, let me know. If you are in the financial position, please consider supporting the OGGM. This is my job, and there are several ways you can support me. And if you can't, I understand. Times are tough. I just would only ask that you, be excellent to each other and party hard. Till next time, see ya, losers.